My dear brothers and sisters, my name is Pastor Peter Kumar. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, the United States. And at the moment, I'm in a city called Bangalore in South India, where we are trying to capture the thoughts of God and the events which God is showing us in 2018. 2018. So this is the word for 2018. I know believers across the world have been praying, have been fasting, have been waiting on the Lord to really see what God has in store in 2018. Of course, there are many prophets around the world. God has been revealing many things to them. But to me personally, God has shown that the year 2018 will be a year of harvest, calling forth the harvest, calling forth the harvest. The book of Matthew, chapter 9, verse 37 and 38, where Jesus says, the harvest is plentiful, but Jesus says, pray, pray, beseech, cry to the Lord of the harvest. Cry to the Lord of the harvest. The harvest is plentiful, but cry to the Lord of the harvest. I see God preparing a huge harvest in every nation, in every tribe, in every tongue. Unusual revivals, unusual signs and miracles performed by ordinary churches, ordinary men and women of God. So preparing for the harvest, my brother, my sister. At the same time, I also see a dividing line. A dividing line. Why do I use the word dividing line? Because many nations will be divided. Many organizations will be divided. Many communities will be divided. Even people like EU, banks, the banking system, the religious system, the church order, they will all have divisions. There's a line falling. So I also see persecution against the church, challenges against the church in many nations. The church will be challenged to compromise, to adopt new teachings. So I'm going to speak a little bit about what God is showing me about 2018, and we move from country to country. Since I live in the US, my brother, my sister, I've been praying so much for President Trump, the government, and the way things are going to happen in the US. God specifically told me that He's going to extend grace over US. Extend grace over US. The hand of the Lord will be upon President Trump, and God will protect him. He will protect his family, and will protect the government, and God will endorse what he does. The present challenges with some Asian countries, particularly North Korea, the Lord showed that it will just diminish and disappear like a cloud. It will just diminish and disappear like mist. Yes, we will see many countries looking at US as a big brother. Many countries connecting with them. So job opportunities, business ventures, even the dollar becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. The US dollar will become stronger and stronger and stronger. Now why do I say this? Because in the days to come, people will talk about mergers. People will talk about alternative currencies. People will challenge the existing banking system. Invisible banking, invisible coins, invisible. I'm using a word called invisible because people are crazy. People go into all kinds of things. But God will endorse what America does. God will endorse what President Trump does. And there will be favor, unusual favor in America. So this will promote unity among churches. Like-minded churches will come together. There will be revival in many pockets of America. Many pockets. Even people who challenge President Trump, God will deal with them. God will deal with them. And God would extend grace over President Trump. There will be favor, there will be friendship, there will be peace agreements, and so many things. And certain nations will join America for what America stands for. So we will see a lot of peace and prosperity in America. Now moving from America into Europe, my brother, my sister, there will be compromises in Europe. People will seek more of sinful behavior. Racism will rise up, violence will rise up, Religiosity will rise up. Religious tensions will rise up. Many churches will be challenged. Many churches will be shut down. We need to pray for Europe. We need to pray for Europe. The EU will be challenged. Some more nations will leave EU. Some more nations will leave EU. We will see that. It will be very sad, my brother, my sister. And EU will embrace a lot of compromising positions with nations, with religions. Vatican will be a key player. In 2018, America, Vatican, certain religious groups in the Middle East, and technology will be the key players. Let me repeat, America, Middle East, fanatics, religious groups, Vatican, and some technological advancements will be the key players. They will try to control the whole world. So Vatican, the Pope, the present Pope will try to unite every religion, unite every banking system, unite every media, and unite so many things. So there will be breaking of many boundaries from Vatican. Vatican will bring forth its own bank. Vatican will bring forth its own currency. Yes, I see a currency which is floated by Vatican, which is acceptable to so many people. But the Pope will take many people away from the main faith. The Pope will take many people away from the main faith. We need to pray for Vatican. We need to pray for Europe. I see many people die in Europe. Violence. I also see a lot of calamities in this country. Moving from Europe into Africa. Africa will begin to unite itself. A lot of leaders who were corrupt will be exposed and they will be removed. The African communities will come together and there will be wealth sharing. Education will be primarily promoted in Africa. Then business ventures will be promoted. Even tourism will begin. Mining will happen in a very big way. Mining, gold, natural diamonds, and so many other things will rise. Africa will begin to boom. And churches in Africa will go. Millions and millions in Africa will turn to the Lord. Millions. There will be a great revival among young people in Africa. Africa will become a unit of its own. They will come together, but they will become very powerful. Apostles and prophets of Africa will come into every nation. They will be part of the end time harvest, end time revival. So from Africa, let's move into Australasia, Australia, New Zealand, all the South Pacific Islands. Australia and New Zealand in some ways have walked away from the plans of God. They have called themselves distinctly into a nation where they don't want godly principles. But churches will grow in Australia, revival will happen. Australia, New Zealand, they will have revival in their own way. But the economy will be stable. But I also see natural disasters all across Australia, more earthquakes in New Zealand. So in Australia, I see the ocean come in. New South Wales, Brisbane, and a lot of rain, water, even in Western Australia. I see water in certain mining sectors, water coming into certain mines. We need to pray, my brother, my sister, we need to pray against natural disasters, that God's hand will be upon Australia. God's hand will be upon every individual islands, Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, Marshall Islands. All of them will have revival. The fire of God, the Spirit of God will be poured in an unusual way on these islands. We will see that happen. My brother, my sister, coming into Asia, my brother, my sister, Asia will have a lot of earthquakes. Indonesia will have more volcanic eruptions. The church will be persecuted in Indonesia, in India, in Malaysia, and few other countries. Persecution. Christians will be challenged. Churches will be shut down. Yes, even the southern part of India, churches will be challenged. Wherever Christianity has been breeding and growing, there will be challenges. But through these challenges, through people who are dying as martyrs, there will be revival. Millions of people will turn to the Lord. 2018 will be a year of harvest, great harvest. My brother, my sister, yes, Asia will rise up. Many Asians will stand as mighty witnesses. But in the Middle East, my brother, my sister, there will be a lot of challenges. Many more people will die. Nations will divide. Nations will divide. There will be more deaths. Churches will be shut down. Christianity will be challenged. We need to cry for the Middle East. We need to weep for the Middle East. My brother, my sister, yes, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all these nations will also embrace major sinful acts, major compromise and sinful acts. But there will be a harvest, there will be a revival, and there will be millions of people turning to the Lord. Choose to be part of the harvest. Choose to be a laborer. Choose to be a laborer with God, and stand through persecution. Stand through persecution. 2018 is a year of harvest. God bless you. And this is Peter Kumar. Thank you very much. Amen.